Well, it's harvest day today, and so I thought I'd take you around and show you what we're harvesting in July. And we're also doing a bulk harvest. I was originally planning just to do the shallots, but I've got the kids here helping, so in the end we decided to do the onions as well, because quite a lot of them surprisingly had gone to seed even though they'd been grown from seed, and that's pretty unusual, and I can only put that down to the really hot spring that we had. But anyway, it was only about 10%, and you know, they can still be used, they just need to be used immediately and or processed and frozen. So one of those two things is what we'll be doing with them. So yeah, let's get on. So although I really like the main heads off the Calabrese, I actually prefer the side shoots, and we get such a good harvest of side shoots. So this is we took this head off 2 weeks ago, I think, and we started taking these sort of side shoots off, and we're kind of getting this sort of number of side shoots every week now. And this is the benefit really of having a really well prepared bed, you know, is to get a good crop of side shoots every week for the next, well, at least 6 weeks, I would guess, probably longer. We don't always get three, you know, so sometimes you just get one side shoot like this, but that's still fine, we're happy with that. And yeah, kind of just hunting around looking for them. I think we've got some nice ones down there. So sometimes you see the plants go absolutely crazy and we get like, goodness knows how many side shoots we've got on this one. 6, I think. And of course there's more coming. And there's more coming here. You often can't even see them, and then they just like shoot up in a week. It's absolutely amazing. So that's really lovely. I love it when we get those. And there's loads coming on this one, but there's only one really that's ready. So we'll just take that. But then all the way around here, there's more side shoots coming. And then on this one, yeah, there's only 3 that are ready. But then there's loads coming. In fact, I'll leave that one there for next week. So that's the Calabrese for the week. Next week we won't have quite as many because we'll just be relying on the side shoots, so about half as much probably. But still, that's plenty. So we're taking up the shallots today. Pretty good sizes. When you take them up, make sure you dig them up with a trowel or a fork so as not to damage the roots yanking them out. And we've done all these multi-sown, so some of them are small. These, like these, where there's 4 in a plug, and some of the bigger, you know, when there's 3, even bigger when there's 2. But it's nice to have a range of sizes because you don't often need a shot that size, so there's no point having them all massive like that. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with them so far. Just fingers crossed there's no onion fly. None on that one anyway. So anyway, I'll bring you back when we've got them all harvested. And some of our early apples are ready now. I think these are Discovery. There's a few. That one had a grub in it. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased. Discovery are always the first for us. And they're really nice. We've got very few tomatoes at the moment, just these few. We have been picking them in the week, but we've got so many tomatoes coming. I'm really pleased with the harvest so far, but only a handful ready. So now I'm on to the peppers, and we've got a really nice harvest of these chili peppers. Really pleased with these. I've got so many, I think I've grown too many plants really, but Are you playing with the robot there, Robin? So we're starting to get some nice sweet peppers now. These aren't quite ready yet, but I'm sure I'll find a few. So this is more like it. These are the new Ace, and a bit earlier than the California Wonder. And there's quite a few of these, looking pretty good. So that's the peppers and the tomatoes. I think next week we should have twice as much as this. In fact, that's kind of the way of things at the moment, isn't it? You know, it's doubling every week at the moment. I think I'm going to get these mulched peas. These are the early ones. And I can't believe they've had this amazing second flush of growth. So it's hard for me to believe that we've been picking these now about this amount a week since May, I think. And just from this little, I can't remember how many plants exactly, but I think there's about 24 plants in there, 24 seeds planted. Not bad. A few carrots from this bed. This has been pretty much a disaster. Loads of carrot fly got in here before I put the net on. Stupid me, left the net off too long. Basically until I'd thinned them out, which was way too long apparently. But we still eat them, just cut the bits off that are affected. But some nice golden beetroot, which we kind of substitute for carrots as well. So not too bad. We've got lots of green garlic growing in here. And it sort of seems a bit strange to have green garlic at this time of year, but what we do is the last dregs basically of the storage garlic, which is starting to sprout, we just plant that in kind of May time, and yeah, it gives us this lovely green garlic crop in early autumn. We popped our bolt hardy beetroot into store, and that's going to last us for the next few weeks. But I'm just picking a little bit of this red Ace as well, and just the biggest of the ones. This isn't our storage crop. This is just what we're eating up until October. And we've got the storage crop on Jennie's plot. I'll just pop a photograph up of that. We like doing it this way. Basically we do an early crop, a mid-season crop, and a late season crop. And this is the mid. So that's the red Ace. Sprouts. I love the sprout tops, but that lets me pick these early sprouts. I was just looking at the onions on my plot, and I noticed quite a few of them have started to go to seed. There's more than it looks like because they're all multi-sown, so it's probably only one onion per clump. But time to get the onions up, I think. So on to the beans now. This is just the end of the early crop. So that's pretty much the end of these French beans. We'll probably get one small harvest off these now. And then we'll switch on to the climbing French beans. So the sequence for us is we start off with the polytunnel climbing French beans. And then we have these early dwarf French beans, and then the main crop climbing French beans. And then back to the polytunnel climbing French beans for the late harvest. So now I'm going to pick a couple of these sweet corn. Picked a couple yesterday. I think we've got two more here. These were in the polytunnel to start. We only do a few plants before we switch over to our early main crops. And now I'm moving on to the New Zealand spinach, and it's a real pain to pick. You're basically picking off these leaves and letting these new leaves grow, so it takes a long time to pick like individual leaves like this, but it's an amazing crop, and Robin's going to help.
Which ones?
Like that.
Wow.
Yeah, try. Well done. Zealand spinach, such an incredible cropper. It's a fantastic crop there. And I think it's probably, in terms of bang for the buck, it's got to be one of the best summer crops, although obviously it's not the tastiest, but it's a really nice substitute to spinach in summer. So this is one of the little summer brassica beds.
Can you eat one of the plants?
Yeah, no you can't. So this is one of the summer brassica beds, and we always pick these really hard because the plants are only going to last for another couple of months until we switch over to the winter beds. But we find this is a better way of doing it rather than trying to keep a summer bed going into winter. So there we go, not too bad. So I just picked a nice little smoothie mix, onion tops, New Zealand spinach, Daubertons and Taunton kales, beetroot leaves, chard leaves, I don't know, other bits and pieces. And it's some nice little gem lettuces in there as well. And that, I think, is pretty much it for the stuff we're harvesting off the allotment. So these are the onions that went to seed, and probably about maybe 10% of them, something like that. So they're looking pretty good though. There's plenty of useful onion on them, so those are the ones that we'll be processing and using first. So this is the little greenhouse, full to the brim with onions now. These are the few red onions that we grew from spring onions that we just left to grow on. We've got loads of red onions grown from sets as well, obviously much bigger than these, but still welcome. They'll see us through for the first few months rather. And got some more down there, and then these are shallots, and more and more and more shelves of shallots, basically full. And these are the white onions, stir on, and Ailsa Craig, and loads of those as well. Every shelf is full. And then down here, just a few that have gone to seed. So we're in the back garden now, harvesting here. Debbie's already picked the tomatoes from the garden. There's really a bigger harvest here actually than there is in the polytunnel. It's been an amazing year for the outdoor toms. So we grow sprouts at super high density so that we can harvest the leaves early on in the season, and now actually, and also take off these sprout tops. And once you take off the tops like these, then the sprouts start to develop on the stem. You just get so many sprout tops when you do it this way. And obviously this isn't our main crop sprouts for winter, this is just sprouts for summer. So we always pack into these little containers, well they're not that little actually, 2 litre containers, and seal them. Everything's been pre-washed, and so we pack them dry but moist, and that way they can easily keep for a week. So we've got plenty of kale here, all sorts of roots, broccolis, peppers, beans, lots of leafy greens, loads of chard, perpetual spinach, New Zealand spinach, and smoothie mixes. Most of the calabrese has gone straight into the bags. For all our family members, we have these nice little goodie bags. So mini cucumbers, onions, chili peppers. In the paper bags there's peas and preserves and all that sort of thing, garlic, etc, etc. Goodie bags we think of these as. So we've been harvesting potatoes now since April. This is the last of the Shallots, and we've got quite a few in store. We've got these tiddlers here, we've got those baking potatoes there, we've got a few more in the allotment fridge, and we store the ones we're using under this fleece blanket. And then the next ones to be harvested are these Vivaldi. And we've got 5 of these tubs. These are a good second early or early main crop, depending on how you look at them. But then we're on to the main crops in September. But we also, as well as the main crops, we've got the next succession here of the Shallots. They're the ones that we'll be eating through until April, basically. And these are, I think we've got 20 of these tubs. Next thing to harvest are the salad crops. And we've got a really nice range. I'm very happy with these. These are, I can't remember exactly, but I call them canasta. It's an Italian name. It's too complicated to remember. And then we've got these Navara and these Grenoble Reds with spring onions interplanted. That's actually something we're a bit short of at the moment, spring onions. We might just find enough for this week, and then we probably won't have any for a week until these are ready. They're about 2 weeks away from harvest. And then we've got these, and these are Cantarix and some more Grenoble Reds. And then a bit further off, we've got some black-seeded Simpson and some little gems. But these canasta have proved to be an absolutely fantastic summer lettuce. Just look at that rib on them. They are so incredibly crunchy. I really love them. So much better than an iceberg. So we always pick into water. I like to have a different variety, each variety in a separate tub, which makes it easier when I'm making the mixes up, to make sure that everybody gets a nice mix of different types of leaves. We like the leaves to be nice and moist but dry when we pack them. We get through a lot of water when we're doing all the packing, and we use that wastewater to water the trees. This is a particular favourite of mine. So William's pear tree gets through a lot of water in these containers. So next up is this Lola Rossa, and it's not a favourite lettuce of mine. I find it's a little bit dry. I think it's got such a lot of surface area to it that it loses water quite quickly, and so I say it takes up a lot of space. It adds some nice colour and texture, but you know, for me, I would only want maybe one of these leaves in my salad mix. So that's, I like the bed to be left. A little bit of leaf left on, and these will all be regrown in a week's time. 2 weeks in winter, a week in summer. This is similar to the Lola Rossa. This is a nice green frizzy lettuce. I like this one more. I'm not 100% sure of the name of this one. I think it might be Lurini, which is normally recommended just as a baby green. But as I say, we quite like it as a kind of frizzy addition to the mix. Not a lot goes in, just a few leaves in each one. But it's very prolific, and we've had no pest issues on it at all. Yeah, I'm really quite pleased with this one. And as I say, it just grows back so fast. Really great. I've taken a lot of leaves off this. It's probably rising to seed next week, so this will probably be next week will probably be the last harvest. So I've taken plenty off there, and then this Mikado spinach will get planted, and I've got one row of spare plants to pop in there when these are finished. Actually, in the end, I decided to plant the spare Mikado spinach in between the lettuces, just to I thought another week in modules was probably too long for it. So next up's the Navara, and slightly tricky to pick one-handed without damaging the plant. There we go. This is a nice lettuce. This is our favourite for the whole year bar winter. So just the 3 months of winter we don't grow it. We find it just gets a little bit of downy mildew in winter and a little bit of root rot. So we grow Cantarix instead, and a whole load of other winter lettuces, but for now it's really great. Nice crunchy stem as well, which I always like. So next up is this, the Cantarix, and a little bit more delicate than the Navara. Still a reasonable amount of crunch in the leaves, and just not quite as tasty, but certainly beautiful. And then finally, my favourite lettuce of all, which is Grenoble Red. If I had to pick just one lettuce, this would be it. For every time of the year it's fantastic, apart from late spring. It does tend to heart up quite quickly then, but by now summer it's fine again, and it's not going to heart quite as quickly. But yeah, absolutely fantastic lettuce. Crunchy, colourful, tasty, winter hardy, fantastic. And then tonight for our fruit salad we'll be harvesting blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and pretty soon grapes. So then these are the salad mixes for the family, and then these are the salad mixes for Debbie and I. The difference is that these have got tomatoes and cucumber and onions and golden purslane and grapes and all sorts of other bits and pieces in. It's evening now and I'm just hunting for strawberries to make up the fruit salad. There's some nice blueberries and raspberries as well, and blackberries still to come. So I hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.